What is going on, nerds and nerdettes? It's your boy Stevie B with this week's haul video. Whew, man, what a week! Might notice the audio is a little different. I'm playing around. I tried to do an external mic on the last video, and was told it was a little hot, a little loud. So I've ordered a new mic. So the audio is not going to be as good on this one. It's not going to be as loud. I'm trying to talk a little louder to get to it, but man. But anyway, man, what a week. Man, I got to talk about it because it's just leveled me. My all-time favorite show on the planet has been Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Absolutely love that show. So last night, which would be Sunday night, couldn't sleep, so I sat up and I run across that Bel-Air, that reboot of the series, this more dramatic reboot of it. It's actually Will Smith is one of the producers on it. I believe it started off as a YouTube fan film type trailer, a little fan trailer that someone made, and it got Will Smith's attention, and he thought, dude. You know, well, a lot of people saw it and said, man, that looks freaking awesome. So I saw that it had been released on Peacock, so I was like, man, I'm going to give it a shot. Holy crap, people. You want to talk about doing a 180 and going completely the opposite direction with that show. Wow, where do I even start with it? First of all, Will Smith... his one little fight, his mom got scared, turned it into a little brawl at the basketball court, at which time Will grabs a gun out of his buddy's backpack and fires a couple shots into the air to keep him from beating his buddy up. So, of course, cops rush him, catch him with the gun, throw him in jail. And his mom makes a phone call to Uncle Phil to bail him out. So Uncle Phil pulls some strings, does some shady activity to get the charges dropped on him, some illegal stuff, you know, and she decides to send him there to give him a second chance. You know, Will was on track. He was being scouted by colleges for a basketball scholarship and everything. He kind of pissed it away by getting in trouble and everything. So he got a second chance. She sends him to live with his uncle in Bel-Air, which, you know. But once he gets to Bel-Air, man, this is when the whole show just takes a turn. First he meets Aunt Viv. Aunt Viv is an accomplished artist who gave up her passion to support Uncle Phil, who's running for district attorney's office, which makes what he did for Will even more shady. But and he meets Jeffrey, and Jeffrey is no butler. He is like a Batman's Alfred, but you know, for Uncle Phil, he's like a mafia level bodyguard, security team. He takes care of these little problems that rise up, you know. More on that a little bit later. But so, and not only that, but he's Jamaican instead of English, so that's funny. Of course, then Hillary is a social media upstart trying to develop a cooking channel, get known as a culinary expert, and get her name out there. And then Carlton was the biggest one of all. Oh my God. They took goofy ass, flat-headed, square-headed, short-ass, nerdy Carlton and made him a lacrosse star, like the most popular kid at the academy. He's basically, it's his school. He runs the school, and a coke fiend. They made him a coke fiend. He's snorting coke like you wouldn't believe through this whole show. Oh my God! And I'm thinking, holy crap! No more, dancing and Tom Jones. Dude is, and he's an asshole. Oh my God, is he an asshole? He is something else. Then who else? Jazz. He's not the goofy little Nimrod that they play on that he plays on the regular show. He's actually, in this one, he's the taxi driver that brings Will to the palace, and he also owns a record store there in L.A. He ends up becoming friends with Will that way. Oh yeah, Ashley. Ashley is 12, and of course she's bisexual, because why not? Because you have to be inclusive. You have to include everybody, no matter what. So the 12-year-old girl is bisexual. So they after about 4 episodes, they finally bring her in, give her a storyline, and that's her storyline, is that she's bisexual. But so I'm like, okay, whatever. But anyway, so Wilson is sent to Bel Air, because the drug dealer that he pulled a gun on back in Philly is looking for him. So they send him to Bel Air to kind of hide out too. That's part of the reason that he's there. The big reason he's there. But anyway, the drug dealer finds out that he's in Bel Air and starts to come for him. So Will goes to Jeffrey for advice. Jeffrey basically says, "Don't worry about it. It's taken care of. I got this taken care of. You don't worry about it." Well, they imply, make a long story short, they imply that Jeffrey has the kid killed. So anyway, that's only, and this is through the first 5 episodes of the season. I haven't started 6 yet. So crazy what they did to my favorite show. Do I like it? Actually, I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. It's way different, and it's a shock to the system. For people that were big fans of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like me, you're going to have to forget everything you ever saw on TV with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and take this as a whole new entity, because it's not the same. But it's just a retelling. They basically are telling a different side of it, and it's really good. I will give it credit for what it is. It's a really good show. I will recommend it. Political agendas aside, on a lot of it, there is some political innuendo in there that I don't necessarily agree with, but that's what makes us adults, is we don't have to agree with everybody's opinion on politics, and we can still enjoy it. So that being said, I rambled on for 8 minutes over Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but I just had to talk about it. It was awesome. But let's get into the haul, because I am excited to show you some stuff. I got some keys you should be paying attention to, in my opinion. I don't want to be labeled as an influencer. I don't want to be, lumped in with the comic toms that everybody hates, because he has opinions, and when he's wrong, everybody roasts him about it. So if I'm wrong, don't let me or anybody else tell you what to buy. This is just my insight. Anyway, let's go through the same shit everybody else got from Midtown. And this is the She-Hulk #2. Of course, I'm going to get all the She-Hulks. And this is the X-Gwen variant as X-23. So I think this is, I'm not a big, I wanted a really cool She-Hulk cover, and they've yet to deliver those. I'm afraid. They haven't given me a really cool She-Hulk cover yet. So, but this is a cool cover. I do like that cover, so I picked that one up because the ones with She-Hulk on it were just not good. I'm disappointed in the cover art, I will say that. Next up, we got Strange, #1, with this variant edition. This is the first cover appearance and the first appearance of Harvest Man. That's weird. I'm going to have to read this book because this is first. It says it's the first cover of Harvest. Surely that's not Harvestman, right? No, surely not. I don't know, but it's the first appearance of Harvestman. First cover is yet to be determined. I don't know. That's what it said in the description, but I don't know if that's Harvest Man. But anyway, I picked it up. And let's see. Finally, the last one of this Batman story that I've been picking up. Now I'm going to read it. I've got all 6 parts. But Arkham City, The Order of the World, #6. These covers have been insane. I will give them that. I mean, they're just creepy. They kind of remind me of like the Arkham Asylum books, which I need to pick up. Infinite Arkham Asylum, Serious House on Serious Earth. I need to pick that up. The only reason I haven't pulled the trigger on it is because for the longest time I thought I had a first printing of that book with the really cool Joker cover on it, kind of Stuart Sager-esque cover. And then I find out that that's not a first printing, that's an anniversary edition. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. Well, so, 90s, that's when I started, so I didn't know much then. And then we got Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, #5, I believe. It doesn't say on here because I get this Stormbreakers cover here. Love that cover. Next up, I've been liking these Justice League Incarnate books, so I've been picking these up. And this is Jorge Fornes cover. So I'm digging those. Those are pretty good. And this series has been phenomenal. And if you're not picking these up, man, go back and get them while they're still on the low end. They're not very expensive. But Nice House on the Lake, #7. It seems like there was a big delay between 6 and 7 because I don't know. But I'm not sure. I can't remember how many of these there are. But, man, this has been really good. So I'd suggest getting on that because they're not going to... that's got potential, I think, to going somewhere. And another one that they haven't put a new copy of it or new issue out in a while is The Last Book You'll Ever Read, #5, the black polybagged edition. But those have been pretty good. And another series that I was all into that I thought was gonna take off a little better and didn't, but I loved it was You Promised Me Darkness. That was awesome from Behemoth Comics. So now that series is over. They've started like the sequel, which is Follow Me Into Darkness, #1. So I'm excited for this. Y'all jump in on that if you can. Okay, my indie spec book for the week. I always try to pick up one. I say, even though indies, I've got a bunch of indies or a couple of indies in here, but my indie spec book of what I think is might be the sleeper hit. And this one is called Loaded Bible. I can't. His head's covering up the rest of the title, so I can't remember what it is. Lord of the Bible, Blood of My Blood, I think, is what it was called. #1. The premise behind this just intrigues me. this guy is a clone of Jesus and a vampire hunter. So, interesting. The implications behind this are interesting to me. So I can't wait to give this a read and see what this is all about. So, clone of Jesus, vampire hunter, Image Comics. So there you go. That is my indie spec of the week, my hot pick, if you want, of the week. But now let's get into my eBay pickups. That concludes the shit everybody got session of the video. Now is the stuff you might not be picking up, but you maybe should. Well, some of this stuff I think you probably already got, but I think there's going to be a spark in interest in these. And now I'm talking about the Midnight Suns storyline that runs through several issues. This is Night Stalkers #1, and this is part 5 of 6. Still polybagged and everything. And part 3 of 6 from the Morbius. The reason these Midnight Sun books, the reason I'm picking these up is because this was such a monster storyline. It's an iconic storyline from the 90s, and I think it would be a good one to pull inspiration from for a Morbius movie. I don't know if they're going to pull any inspiration from these books in the current Morbius, but I do see a possibility that this storyline, if I got the first appearance of the Midnight Suns, I think the Midnight Suns are going to definitely be a part of the MCU at some point. So getting in on it now, while you can see I didn't pay $4 for it. I paid considerably less. Most of these are in dollar bins, man. And if I'm wrong, I'm out a couple bucks. Those are the spec books I love the most. If I'm wrong, doesn't matter. I'm out a couple bucks, and I still want all of these in my collection. I have one more to get to complete the whole storyline, and it's a dollar bin book, so I'm not too concerned about it. But I'll probably pull the trigger on it right after I finish this video. Going along with the Morbius storyline, this character's already been announced, so I picked it up while it was still cheap. I actually picked it up, I think, well, I'm not sure if I picked it up before it was announced or just before I knew it was announced. But, sorry, I got the hiccups. It's really driving me nuts. This is Peter Parker Spiderman #4. This is the first appearance of the Hunger, which is a character that's already been confirmed for a Morbius movie. So, and I think he goes by a different name. I can't remember what they're calling him in the Morbius movie, but it's the Hunger. And eventually I think that name's going to come out. But, awesome. Next up, let's do these next, because these are all a group. These I picked up. I kind of fallen off of my quest to put together the 55-issue run of the Red Hulk books, because I got all the keys out of the way, the big keys. So now it's just a matter of filling them in. But this is Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness on this run, and well, not on the whole. I guess not on all of it. I think McGuinness was through the first 6 issues, and then there was somebody else, Art Adams, something like that. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, it was a great series. Apparently a popular one, because these books are not cheap to get. Luckily, I was able to find one, a guy that had a lot of them on eBay. Lot meaning more than one, not a lot of them, but you know what I mean. But he goes by, I'll put him up here. He's a Goombad 11, and we kind of struck up a little bit of a friendship, going back and forth. He doesn't do social media, so we've been like messaging each other back and forth through eBay Messenger. But he's a good dude. He took good care of me. He sent me these books. He also sent me an extra that I put back here that really didn't go with him, but I'll show it first. He sent me Incredible Hulk number 600, this variant with the red Hulk on it, which is cool. So I'll put it in there in my PC. But anyway, if you're looking for stuff, he's got action figures as well. But he's got some good deals, so you might want to check out I'll link him in the description. Check out his eBay site. But yeah, Goombad 11. Anyway, but I picked up through him. I picked up issues 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are mostly all variant covers too. 10 and 11. So nice little run there I picked up from him. So, I'm still working on everything from 11 and up, because I get the keys were in the early issues. So anything, from 12, I think I've got I got the first appearance of Red She-Hulk, which I think is after 11. But other than that, I need most everything all the way from 12 to 55. So I'm still working. And then this one, I actually just kind of scrolled past on eBay, and it caught my eye. So it was a total cover buy. And I've never heard of this, but it's Sam Keith artwork. And it just caught my eye. Sam Keith, of course, does the Max, and he has a distinct style. And so when I saw that cover, I knew exactly who it was. And it was just a gorgeous cover. So it's 1 of 5. I'm probably going to get the other 4, but it's Scratch number 1. And I mean, come on, is that not a gorgeous cover or what? Sam Keith's got such a unique style of art that it's just unmistakable, and I dig it. I dig it. It's unique. So I picked that up for my PC. Now let's get into some. These are, in my opinion, some more keys that you should be looking at and trying to pick up. This one I can believe is still relatively inexpensive for this book. Amazing Spider-Man number 265. This is the first appearance of Silver Sable, and the first appearance of Wolfpack. So, I mean, Silver Sable is kind of a no-brainer, and it's a newsstand. So, man, you can still pick this up for, $30-35. I would jump on one of these. It's a kind of a no-brainer. I think Silver Sable, they're not done. Not done. And then next up I've got the Defenders number 32. Again, we were talking about She-Hulk last week and the series announcement, or the series inevitable debut of the series. And everybody ran out, when they announced it and jumped on this one. And then they announced Titania. That's the first villain that they've announced and cast. So then everybody's like, ooh, run out and buy that one. And then that book shot up. But now we're talking about some minor keys, She-Hulk related, like villains and stuff. And Defenders number 32 is the first appearance of Ruby Thursday. It's an interesting character, whether or not it makes an appearance on the She-Hulk. You never can tell, but I thought it was interesting, so I picked one up. And next up, this one I think is definitely going to make an appearance in the She-Hulk series and is a relatively cheap pickup that you should be getting. That's Savage She-Hulk number 9, and this is the first appearance of Ultima. I think that character is definitely going to be making an appearance on She-Hulk. So you strike before they announce it. You get there before they announce it, and you get this. I don't remember what I paid for this, but it wasn't much. So, there you go. Some more She-Hulk. And my last little She-Hulk spec. And this one, I'm gonna go on a limb and say this is, and also say that this is a long shot spec, and odds are probably not a good one. But the character was intriguing enough to me that I wanted to do it. And this is She-Hulk, Savage She-Hulk 18, first appearance of the Grappler. So it's a newsstand. These were newsstands too, but the Grappler he's like a wrestling based character, so I had to pick it up. I thought it was funny. So who knows? It may not. And this one I picked up because I got to thinking about the Avengers movies and the MCU are evolving and changing, and then they're going to have new characters. They're going to have to spice it up and change. Hit the randomizer and put some new people in there. And who better to head up the team than Hawkeye? And so I picked up the first appearance of the West Coast Avengers. Who knows? You might get it. We may get a nod at the West Coast Avengers. I'm going to have to get a better copy of this because this one's not in the best shape, and it's not old enough that it should be in this bad a shape. It's 1984, but it needs a press. There you go. You can see that crease right there. And with the white on there, it's hard to see spine ticks, but they are there. So I probably need a cleaner copy of that, but it's a good placeholder until I get one. And last book that I picked up, he's back in the comics again. So, usually when they pull one, when they knock the dust off a character and they bring him back, it's usually foreshadowing something. So they brought this character back. There's a lot of talk going on about them, bringing Charlie Fox, the new Daredevil, or the Daredevil in, and so Daredevil characters, villains. Another one to be, I would suggest you pick up some appearances up if you can get them on the cheap. And this is the first appearance of Richard Fisk as the Rose. And I think this is another one where I pull the trigger on a not so great copy. You can see the spine roll on that. Pretty good. Look at that up top. The pictures look better than the book itself, I will say. Lots of spine ticks. So I may need to get a little better copy of that. But it's still one would be on my radar if you haven't got it yet. Man, another 30-minute video. What am I going to do? I've got to try to keep these down. I went on a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air rant for 20 minutes, and that ate into my time. But that is my haul for this week. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you agree with me on some spec, hell, give me your own ideas. Shoot, share some information with you, brother. Man, if you think, hey, man, you're missing out on something, shit, let me know, man. I'd love to pick it up. I'll even give you credit. I give you credit for it. But as for this one, that's going to do it. Before you go, I would love to ask for you to please do all the YouTube things that you always do. A little graphic up here. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that other good stuff. But that is going to do it for this haul video. We will see you in the next one. Peace.